Hi everybody, welcome to the Polly Means Business podcast. I'm here with Ella Harvey and we're going to be discussing everything you need to know about cancellation policies, red flag clients, and really understanding how to find your ideal client within your business. So Ella, welcome to the Polly Means Business podcast. How are you, darling?
Darling, I'm so well. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
My pleasure. So Ella, first of all, I just wanted to really delve into a bit of a deep dive about where your business started, how you have come into the world of permanent makeup, and let's just have a little chat about what we're going to be covering today.
Okay, lovely. Well, my story started when I was very naughty at school and I fell into beauty. So it wasn't something that I had my heart set on. I was going to be a lawyer with no GCSEs apparently. So anyway, ended up in beauty because my mother opened a beauty salon and I went in and it kind of just, everything went really natural and I started from there. At 17, I learned permanent makeup and it is such a game changer. And I think being surrounded by women every day who you're helping, it's a very rewarding job, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And once you're in the world of permanent makeup, you can see how lucrative it can be and also how empowering it is to every client that you meet. You have that real sense of job satisfaction, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about where your business is today. Because obviously I know that you come to London, where we are right now, and you've got a lovely clinic here where you work from, but you're also in Guernsey.
Yes, at the moment I'm based in Guernsey. I opened my first permanent makeup only clinic in January this year. So
congratulations.
Really exciting. And then I traveled to London, Jersey, and starting this year, Dubai for permanent makeup. So it's just growing every day. At the moment, I'm client focused and I am looking to branch out into other things, but now just focusing on building the client base.
Okay. So obviously with clients, I know you have a real, I think your forte and what I admire you most for, we've known each other for a long time now, but you have a real knack at retaining clients, finding new clients. And also one thing that a lot of us struggle with in the beauty industry is finding the ideal client. So this is the client that we all want who is going to be spending regular money. You're going to be getting, a really lovely rapport with the client. Just tell me a little bit about how you find your ideal client and how you retain those.
Okay, well, being in a small community, its reputation is key. So looking after your clients, making sure that they're happy with their healed results, that you're listening to them as well.
Sure.
And of course, keeping results supernatural. My most important step during my treatment process is the consultation. Now, I know this isn't viable for everybody. However, even if you can get your client on a call before coming into the clinic so that you can double check what their needs are, you make that connection. Also, it's a really great way to filter out if somebody isn't going to be a suitable client for you, because I think it's really important for me to be able to do my best work. You need to have a good rapport with the person coming in and check that you both understand each other. So because I'm in Guernsey and it's very small, people come in for their consultation first. And we sit down for 30 to 45 minutes and we go through what their concerns are, their medical history. Mm-hmm. I draw on a template of the work I'm going to do and also really help them understand the treatment, how long it's going to last for, when they're going to need to come for the touch-up, and how they can expect it to look in several years, as well as explaining the pre and post care, because we know that is what yields the best results.
And what are you doing? Are you doing follow-up consultations as well? Do you do follow-up calls? Obviously I know every permanent makeup procedure, we have those 4 to 8 week retouches. But other than that, are you doing follow-up messages? How do you keep in contact with your clients post-treatment?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm always in contact with them as much as possible. So my treatment procedure is that after every client leaves, once they've healed, I get them back in to take their photos. I send them their before and after photos so that they can actually see the full process. Mm-hmm. Because you know what it's like. When you go to have your hair done.
Sure.
And it's so nice when they do the before and after. So you're like, oh, wow, that's what it was like
before. They've done the blow dry.
Yeah.
You leave feeling $1 million. You do your first hair wash and you think, hang on, this isn't what I asked for.
Yes.
And I think permanent makeup can really be like that because there's such the aftercare is actually half of the process, or even more of the process, actually, because we only can do the treatment itself in the treatment room, and then the rest of the actual healing process has to be sort of looked after by the client. So they need to understand that there is going to be a little bit of downtime. They are not going to look their best until you have that sort of 2, 3, 4 week period where the colour has come back, any little sort of flakiness is gone. Yeah.
Well, it's 50%, isn't it?
Sure.
It's 50% what you do in clinic, and then it's 50% what the client is doing pre and post care. And I think that for me is key, because if I do the consultation and somebody tells me, their schedule, they're traveling, because it's an opportunity to meet them, see what their lifestyle is like. So in Guernsey, we have a lot of people who are sea swimmers. It's really important that during the healing process, they understand they can't swim. A lot of people doing sports, cycling. So as long as they understand that, then their schedules can be changed so that they can have the permanent makeup done and they can do the healing at the same time, and it's going to get a great healed result. So you can, and also understanding somebody else's schedule, if they're traveling back and forth and they're not going to be able to do the touch-up, you need to explain that to them. And I think it's all of these small but key details in communicating and helping them understand is what is going to get them to be a happy client and retain. Because
and a trusting client.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're telling them, like, I think as well, clients are so savvy now. Google, we've got everything on our laptops, on our iPads, on our iPhones. Clients are going to sit there and Google if their eyebrows don't feel like they're healing properly. If you give them the advice that things aren't going to be great to begin with, you're going to get a little bit of this, you're going to get a little bit of that, they trust you more. It's very easy to sell clients a really nice Cinderella story about their whole permanent makeup procedure. There's going to be a bit of pain, there's going to be a bit of swelling, there is going to be downtime. And they trust you for that. And then when you tell them that the end result is going to look beautiful, when they do come back, it's like everything that you've promised, you've delivered. And that's great.
Yeah. I like to under-promise and over-deliver. I think that always works well, doesn't it? But like you've just said about the downtime there, if your client's got a really important meeting and you do their lip tattoo and they swell or they're flaking, they're not going to thank you for that, are they?
No, absolutely.
You have to think about the client's lifestyle and client schedule. So it might be that you consult a client and they don't come in for 6 months or even a year.
Yeah.
It's that first step to building trust and a relationship. And that's what you want with your client. You're tattooing their faces. You want them to be coming back to you because you know the pigments they've used, the needle, etc. You don't want them. Often now people are jumping. They're looking for the best price, the best deal. Who's doing this? Who's doing that? Work on social media is so heavily edited. They think that somebody else's work is better, but actually they don't understand the editing process. And you really want that client constantly coming back. It's like our Botox and dermal fillers as well. I'm going to one person for my face. I'm not jumping around because they know what you looked like before.
Sure.
It's the same for permanent makeup.
Sure.
You don't want them to oversaturate.
Permanent makeup maybe more so, because I always think with permanent makeup, there is this layering process with colour. So unlike hair, where hair can grow, we can cut it, where permanent makeup is concerned, that colour is going to it's going to stay in the skin. And we really need to know what's in there. When was the last time the skin was treated? What needle was used? What machine? What device? How often have you had your brows enhanced? So having and building that relationship with your permanent makeup artist allows you to create a timeline of treatments. And we call it a dossier on each and every client. But, we've got clients where we've got files so full of all the treatments they've had. But it's great because that just shows that we've created that really, really great rapport and we understand our clients' needs. And every single time they're in, we're documenting, how they feel.
Well, you're exactly right. Client notes is another key step to client retention because
weddings, bar mitzvahs,
How
everything,
nice is
I
it?
know.
Also, I know this is really small, but it's so overlooked. Knowing your client's name.
Knowing your client's husband's name or their daughter's
Everything.
name.
Like
their granddaughter's name.
But even when they first come in to see you, though.
Yeah.
Hi, Polly, so lovely to meet you.
Absolutely.
Not darling, not doll,
No.
not anything. It's professional. And even if it's a family member or a friend coming to you, you treat them like a client. It's so easy to
slip
and be more relaxed. You should always be, when that treatment starts, hey, I'm professional. When it's finished and they're happy, more relaxed mode. I like to keep it very separate because they're still paying for a service. And you know what it's like when you go to your friend for something, or you're getting a discount, or you're not paying, or you're not really feeling like you can ask something. Whereas I feel if you're professional at all times, they feel that they can approach you more about things.
Absolutely.
And what you've just said about the client notes there that you take, it's so important. One, so you can have the colour knowledge of what you've input into the skin. You know the needles that you've used. Because if something's not working, you can look back on it for the work side of things. But for the personal, for the client, they're going to feel so cared about. And in this day and age of jump ship, the difference between how you're going to stand out and look after your patients to how Sally down the road is that relationship and and building it and looking after them, remembering them.
I think customer care is something that is so overlooked, and it's very easy to use social media to grab that client's attention, take that deposit, get them in the door. But retention and gaining clients' trust, and for them to go and tell their friends, we've all seen in a restaurant on Instagram, which looks so funky. We know we're going to get those great pictures for the Instagram. We go, the service wasn't great. We all take the nice photos, but are we going to go back? No. Are we going to tell our friends about it? No. So it's, I know it sounds crazy, but it's similar. You can have a beautiful clinic. You can do a beautiful treatment. But if the client isn't feeling seen, acknowledged and understood, I really do believe that you're almost opening them up to being sort of taken away from you. And there's there's so much on social media. It only takes them to like another post, look at somebody else's permanent makeup and say, why should I not give them a little try next time?
Why should your clients stay with you? What are you offering them?
Yes.
And, it comes into pricing as well, doesn't it?
Let's go down the price route, Ella.
Let's go down there.
Let's go down. Race to the bottom.
Price wars. We can't do that, can we? We can't. No, exactly what you said there. I don't look at my competition's prices because I'm not focusing on them. I don't know how much it costs to run their business, what their overheads are, what their cost per treatment is. It's completely irrelevant to me.
Absolutely.
And also, sometimes when you're looking at your competition and you're trying to compete with them, you miss out on that connection to build a friendship with them. We should be collaborative. Look at us. We're both permanent makeup artists. We're always helping. You're incredibly helpful to me, as are all the girls. We're a team together, but we've got our own businesses. And that support will elevate your clinic. And it's also nice for the clients to see, because so often I say to them, just to let you know, I have got my colleagues. I'm going to send this photo and just ask what they think.
Advice.
And get a second opinion, because I think this is a bit complex. They love it. They know they're being looked after then. So when it comes to the pricing, if you are looking at your competition, what you just said there, it's a race to the bottom. Why do you want to be Why do you want to be known as the cheapest?
Yeah.
You want to be known as the best in your industry, best amongst your clients, best in your area. The only way that you can do that is by making enough money to reinvest in your premises, in your products, in your training, in everything, to build on your clients.
And also, let's not beat around the bush here. We want to make profit. We want to live a lifestyle and have a life that is reflective of the energy, the time, and what we envision for ourselves. It's very easy for us sometimes when you work for yourself to, put your price point down because you don't know your actual worth, and valuing your worth and knowing that is so important to be able to say, actually, you know what? My eyebrows are going to be this much.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a big believer in, I don't do this for the money. I do this because I love helping women. And I love.
However, you still need to.
You do, but I believe that money comes with it. Like, when you're focusing on looking after your client, you're passionate about helping people, the rest comes with it. So for me, the lifestyle doesn't come into it. That's just a benefit.
Yeah.
But my real satisfaction is knowing that I have helped another person feel confident about themselves, that they can get up in the morning. We all know what it's like when you wake up in the morning and you look at yourself and you think, I just feel like crap today. I don't feel, I don't feel myself. I feel tired. I feel bloated. I feel, when you've got the permanent makeup done and you can just look and you're like, do you know what? I feel like that, but actually I still look pretty good because I've got my definition and my features. You can
Permanent makeup makes you're halfway there, aren't you?
Exactly.
You look in the mirror and instead of thinking, where do I start? You think, oh, hang on, Ella's already put the little the starter little points in there, so now I can just follow through. A little bit of blush, a little bit of lip gloss, a little bit of mascara, and I'm good to go. My brows are here, my lip colour is here, my eyeliner is here.
How nice is it when you wake up in the morning and you're just...
Oh my goodness, it's amazing and
fresh.
It's so good. And I think women of all walks of life love permanent makeup because when you're young, I think it's nice to have I mean, let's face it, we're like trained makeup artists who are putting your makeup in place. And when you're young, we all go through those sort of phases, those fads, apply makeup in sort of sometimes really heavy ways, which don't actually suit our features. With permanent makeup, even when you're a young client, you can have that really great, how can I put this? You and I can make them put that colour back in and the definition back where it's a lot more subtle and it gives them a shadow of colour for them to work with rather than them thinking, where do I start, and applying really, really heavy makeup. Because that's something that we've all done as youngsters. And then following through, as we obviously sort of more, we've got more mature clients, we then get ladies who have lost colour through menopause, sometimes the ageing process, over plucking, from the 80s, the 90s.
They are the clients who are just, please give me the eyebrows, aren't they?
Give them back. I want my brows back.
But I think it's really interesting what we were speaking about before, because with the pricing, because I think how you present yourself on social media is also really important on your professional page. I've seen on the TikToks now a woman counting wads of cash. I'm a permanent makeup artist.
This is too much. This is too much.
Your clients, don't forget, your clients are watching everything you do.
And they are sometimes saving for a year to get their brows done, right?
Yep.
So this is that, and then you're sort of stacking up the cash and sort of flashing it too much. Yeah, it's extreme. Extreme.
Exactly.
You want a comfortable life, but we don't want to be over.
Well, you want to be reinvesting in your business. That's what your clients want to see. If you want to charge a higher price, a big proportion of that does need to be reinvested back into your business. Because if not, what is the client paying for other than, okay, we can all do a great job. We can all, do the baseline.
Sure.
But, your client wants to know that you have more knowledge than them. They don't want, I don't think this is, and again, it's about who you want to attract as a client. Like, who is the person that you want to be coming into your clinic to see you? What we were talking about earlier. How do you attract that person? Well, I like to create an avatar. My main client base personally is between 40 and 65. They are hard-working business women like yourself, Polly. You would be an ideal candidate for me because you look fabulous. You are well presented. You're a mother. You are a business owner. You are going at 100 miles per hour.
And I understand the value.
Yes, of the treatment that you're having done, and that it's an investment. And for that investment, you're going to get back so much time and you're just going to get up and go. Another thing, the clients coming in, there's a misconception around beauty that women getting treatments done are insecure and they're not happy with themselves. And actually, I've done this on a survey of my consultation.
I love
asking women.
We need these stats.
Yeah. Well, actually, I should go back and get it. But asking women on the consultation, how happy are you with your life? Very happy.
And this is in your consultation?
Unhappy. Absolutely it is.
Oh my goodness.
Because I'm getting to know someone.
Sure.
I want to know, I want to know them.
Yeah.
I want to build that relationship because everything for me comes back to that. Because that's what I feel I'm missing, I guess. This is what I feel that I'm missing when I go to have my hair done. I go to my personal trainer. When I go there, I want my personal trainer to take my measurements, get me to do before and afters, give me a treatment plan, check in with me. So it's almost like a coach.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I want my hairdresser, I want her to say, that colour looks good on you. We're going to do this. They're in control of me looking and helping me look and feel my best.
Absolutely.
So when I added this question in for the clients, the clients that ticked unhappy were actually not suitable for treatments.
Wow. And that's a red flag.
Exactly. But you would have potentially thought that clients would come in and tick unhappy. No, they weren't. They were all happy to very happy in their lifestyle. These were confident women who were secure in themselves, but they want, and they take pride in their appearance. They know that turning up looking like this is going to elevate them, their mood, their, how they're productive throughout the day. And I think that is really key to remember.
Do you think that people perhaps who were the unhappy in their life clients who ticked that box, maybe they were looking for permanent makeup to give them the complete change of mindset, and this is what we need to stop focusing on. We can't change the outside to change the inside.
Yes, absolutely. They weren't suitable candidates for a number of reasons. It was maybe they weren't, first of all, so that's quite high up on the list. So it's kind of, right, okay, they're unhappy, and then everything else comes after it. And I asked them about their life, like what makes you unhappy? What are you not happy with? Maybe they weren't ready to make the investment. They weren't in the right frame of mind. They weren't going to do the aftercare. They were avid sun worshippers. They didn't want to do the pre-care. So it was kind of by the end of the consultation, when we'd gone through the medical history and gone through getting to know them, that it was like, okay, interesting. Everything connected back to that first
question.
Yes.
We need to all have these in our consultation forms. This needs to start.
Yeah.
This needs to start.
Yep. Makes
the Ella Harvey way.
But it's adding something. But, then you've got the flip side. I also understand. I'm living in a small community.
Okay.
So I understand a client is not going to travel. If they're coming 2 hours to see you, I understand they're not going to come down 2 hours for a half an hour consultation and then leave again.
Yeah, sure.
So what way can you add that in, make your client feel seen and heard without them having to travel 2 hours? Because that is also unnecessary. Could you hire somebody to do that for you? Is there an outsourcing team that when someone books, they could phone, do the questions, pass it on to you, or write the notes in the booking system? So that client comes in, you say, oh, hello, Jenny. Yes, so lovely to see you. You spoke to Patricia and you're interested in X, Y, Z. Wow, how your client is going to be like...
Loving it.
Oh,
seen,
wow.
heard, understood before
Exactly.
she's even stepped in the door.
She feels so valued, doesn't she? Really taken care of.
I love that.
Yep.
Just wanted to touch on as well, I know we discussed clients that come in that aren't suitable for treatment, but what would be your key things to look out for with a red flag client? So those customers that are coming in and we're really thinking this needs to be shouting out to us, we can't go forward with treatment.
This is such a great question and so important. Whenever you say no, because you have a gut feeling something's not right, you save yourself.
But you get that gut feeling, don't you? You know when you have that feeling in your stomach and it's like something, even though everything can, it's almost like you know that it's trying to look a certain way, or the client is perhaps trying to make everything seem a certain way, but you know inside something is off. And that's scary, actually.
Yeah, well,
it's unnerving because you think to yourself, you've got to make that decision and be brave enough.
Yes.
And I think what I just want to go forward and just quickly say is, for those who are in the beauty industry and they're quite new, please don't ever be afraid to say no. Yeah. And I think we've all had those times where we let the client take the power and we have to take the power back.
You just save yourself so much hassle down the line. Polly, we both know when we have taken the client that we should have said no to.
Sure.
You have so much hassle. You're getting late night text messages, weekend text messages. Yes. You don't reply because it's 10 o'clock at night. By the time you wake up, you've got an email, a WhatsApp, you've got an Instagram message. It's so high stress. And, when you're doing the permanent makeup, it's a very high concentration. It's mentally exhausting. Even though you're not talking to the client, mentally exhausting, concentrating, and you want to do the best job. So you have that stress on top as well. But, what would I do? What would red flags be for me? First of all, And also, like you just said, if you're a newbie, this comes with time and experience. And I'm not perfect. I'm sure Polly will say the same. We occasionally let those red flags slip through the net, don't we?
We do.
And you think, oh gosh, I should have known.
Yeah. But I think it comes down to we want to help everybody.
Yeah.
And you want to believe the best in everybody. You want to know that you want to make people suitable for treatment because you want them to have this wonderful experience with permanent makeup, how it should be. But the clients are very much in control of that healing process. The mindset has to be there to understand how it's going to navigate after they leave the treatment room. And I think if you are somebody that is not in that mindset, you are not suitable for treatment because there has to be going back to that trust within the clients and
and value as well, because exactly what I said, what is mindset? Well, mindset is so we've done the ideal client. You've got your ideal client frame there. You've done your consultation. So in that consultation, you're going to weed out, first of all, so presence. Now, without sounding woo-woo, because I'm not a woo-woo person, but you know when someone comes in, if you're going to like them or not. How is somebody going to feel comfortable with me if I can feel that they don't like me? If they're giving me that energy of, Now, also, one thing, sometimes when people are extremely anxious and
asking
uncomfortable.
Loads of questions.
Well, no, when they're extremely anxious and uncomfortable, they come across as, I found they come across as miserable and unpleasant, and it takes a little bit of time for them to warm up.
Soften them up.
Yeah, so you do have to just, don't judge everyone within the first 5 seconds.
Of course not,
But once you've got to the end of the consultation, if they haven't warmed up, advise them to think about it and come back. So what I would do is, they've come in. If that energy hasn't softened, I had somebody who came in, slumped on the chair like this. And I thought, oh, that's an interesting way to come in. Okay. So are you actually going to do a good job then? Now, that immediately isn't welcoming. It's not friendly. I don't feel relaxed and comfortable.
Confrontational.
It's confrontational and it's aggressive, isn't it? Without being...
The demeanour is off.
Yes.
And you have to protect your own boundaries. And boundaries are so important.
Yep, absolutely.
So we need to always have those in place when we're working. And also for our own mental health and sanity.
Well, if I'm feeling that somebody doesn't like me or isn't comfortable, I have to do at least minimum 4 hours worth of treatment, including the top up on them. How are we going to spend 4 hours together? Imagine being in a room with somebody for 4 hours that you didn't like. You're not going to, my client's not going to relax.
Yeah, of course.
That's not fair on somebody. So unless I get a really good fun feeling and they're a similar person to me in terms of like character, I will always say, I think this is a fantastic treatment. However, I don't think I'm the artist for you. I would really recommend going and having a chat with a couple of other people and just seeing. I always think it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. If you're always super polite and friendly and you are nice to them,
how can they argue with that?
You can't. They're going to know that deep down.
And it's on them, not us.
And you are you're turning away a client, but you're turning away a future problem. Because if that person, for some reason, they're then going to ask for a refund, they're going to ask for free top-ups, your time is going to be more consumed. So energy is a big thing. Going through medical contraindications and if they're kind of, oh yeah, I've been here, I've not liked this, I didn't like that, and they're always negative about another experience
this is a great red flag.
Yes.
This is a great red flag. This needs to be up there as number one. They come in and they don't like the last place they went to. And they're coming in saying, I've been here, I don't like it.
Yeah.
And then they're almost trying to instigate you to then bring this other place down.
And you have to say... and I think it's important.
Never, ever. This is my number one. Never, ever, ever. We can't ever talk badly of any other practices.
If impossible. If they have done
Big
something,
no-no.
If they have done, even if they've done not the best job, we've all been there. Oh God, I could 100% tell you, I've not had 100% amazing work my entire career. What would you? This is a good important thing as well. How long would you think it really takes to settle into permanent makeup and be confident? You're a trainer, Polly. So what would you say?
Sure. To feel, I think it's time served. So for me personally, it's the amount of the amount of clients you've had into the clinic. So you could have been a trained permanent makeup artist for 3 years. But if you've only ever done 100 clients, that's not enough. Okay. We need to be doing sort of 100 clients, maybe a year to really get yourself up to that standard to where you're feeling like you're at an expert level. It's hard work. And it's seeing the range of skins. Like you want to get clients in who've got oily skins, problem skins, smokers, non-smokers, clients who are post-chemo, clients who have sort of got absolutely no eyebrow hair, alopecia clients, the textures, the definition, everything is so different. And until you have literally served every single range of skin types and really understood, I don't think you can really call yourself an expert or actually understand what it takes. And it is difficult, obviously, to then move forward. And we look back at our past work. I mean, the first initial eyebrows you ever do are like fence posts, aren't they? The little strands of hairs going up.
You feel sick, don't you?
I know, and you look back and you think, what the hell was I doing there?
That's
but the clients love them.
Oh, yeah, and
I know, that's so sweet.
That's another thing as well.
We're so critical of our own work. I know.
And also being critical of another artist's work. Do you know, if that client comes in and you think that the work's not that great and you really push that on them, they're going to feel like crap. And someone's coming to you, you're going to make them feel good. They're going to remember how you've made them feel. So, you can always say, hey, look, what I would do, if you wanted me to redo your brows, what I do is I do a session of laser removal and we just do this. So you can explain to them the treatment plan that you would do for them and you can help them understand without critiquing. Because also it's a bit like if you're talking badly about someone else's work, that client might be saying, oh, yes, right, okay. And in their head, they might be thinking,
well, you're thinking my eyebrows are awful.
Oh, my gosh. And they're not going to notice like we notice. So that's another thing as well. It's like, stop worrying about what other artists are thinking about your work. If your clients are happy and they love the work that they have done, that you've done, and they're feeling confident and you're getting great reviews and great feedback, try not to worry about anything else because your client is the most important thing here. No one else. As long as you're reinvesting in yourself and you're progressing and you're learning and you're doing the best job for every single client, that is what is important.
Absolutely. So moving into your own permanent makeup clinic in Guernsey where you're starting out, obviously is it the first only permanent makeup clinic as well in Guernsey?
This is dedicated permanent makeup only in Guernsey and I think Jersey as well.
Which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, in terms of the Channel Islands.
And what made you make that move? Why did you feel that you needed to, what made you want to start your own clinic?
Okay, so I've been in the permanent makeup industry for 13 years now. I trained in 2012. And back in the day, you'd train in everything, wouldn't you? You would have been the same. We did eyebrows, lips and eyeliner. And I remember we went straight in. I had half a day of the theory and then I went the rest of the time on clients. My trainer did one student showed me and then she was like, and I have to say she was fantastic because she threw me in the deep end and I was like,
You do have to get on with it though, because otherwise how are you ever going to learn? You've got to get in that skin and get onto the models.
Exactly. You do. So we did all clients the entire time I was there because you don't want to be doing theory for 5 days and then 1 day of a client.
No.
You want to be smashing out the clients because that is most people are going back to a clinic where they're by themselves, right?
Yeah.
So I was very lucky. I was going back to my mum's clinic.
Sure.
So, and she trained in permanent makeup as well.
Okay.
So I had somebody there showing me the ropes when I was like, oh, Mum, I'm scared. You're
kind of like PMU buddies at that point, aren't you? You kind of bounce off each other a little.
And the community wasn't
there.
Like, it wasn't
not the
there.
online. Instagram didn't exist really. I mean, when we first trained, I don't think Instagram was really there.
No, it wasn't.
TikTok didn't exist for sure.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
So
no.
we were just like
Facebook
Lone Rangers.
Lone Rangers.
I know. That was scary.
Yeah.
That was scary because it was like, who do you call? Back to the training academy. Hi, we'll get someone to ring you back later on.
That was your community.
To ring me now.
Yeah. I got the client's wearing off.
So we've all been there.
But also the community that we have, it wasn't like that.
No.
It was dog eat dog. People didn't want to help. They didn't want, it was very much like a bit of a hierarchy. The best people wouldn't mix with the beginners. Now, look at people like you, Jazz, Steph, look at all of us.
Yeah.
We are there helping other people. If somebody messages you on DM, I'm sure you're responding. I know Steph and Jazz always on it. I'm responding. Like, we're all there helping other people and building that community. It wasn't like that before.
It's so easy, I think, as well in, if you look at guys that work in an office and they're all tapping each other on the back and sort of, shaking hands and, and for us, it's like women pitting against women is just the thing that it's like the thing we're all sort of almost, I don't know even how to say it. It's like we are
designed.
led. Well, not even, I hate to say the word design. It's like a society is leading us to sort of work against each other. But actually, when we work together, there's so many amazing things that we can achieve. And I've worked with women in my career who have really wanted me to fail. And it's such a shame for me to even say that because I absolutely hate being around women like that. But I've also worked with females who have really wanted me to succeed. And I always want to say to anybody in the beauty industry or any industry that you're working in with females, always be that woman that wants other females to bloom and do well.
Absolutely.
Because you always remember that woman who helped you. You always remember that woman who wanted you to do your best. You always remember that person who gave you that listening ear, that helping hand, and were just so unjudgmental. And we so need that in this, to elevate our careers. We must have women who are helping other women up because that ladder is a long way to climb. And if you're not helping each other, we're never going to get there.
And there's no rush with this. So then I went and learnt the permanent makeup when I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
I worked in between in Guernsey, built my client base there before moving to London. I was in London for 7 years and I did kind of guest spots in different clinics.
Mm-hmm.
I worked in a Russian clinic.
Oh, wow.
And
what was that like?
That was the
eye-opening.
best thing that could have ever happened to me.
Wow,
Because
Ella.
the Russian women, fabulous women,
Yes.
they do not miss a trick. So it had to be picture perfect. And when you're put in a situation like that, you have to be...
Standards are high.
Standards are high. So working in somewhere that's very competitive with extremely with clients that have extreme high standards will elevate your career because you will get better. So that really helped me. And then I opened my clinic in London in Battersea. COVID came, I ended up back in Guernsey. And the reason that I've opened the Channel Islands' first permanent makeup clinic is because I really felt that there was a need just to hone in on that. Because for some reason, there seems to be a divide between skin and permanent makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we not joined together? And I was talking to Esther Fieldgrass of EF Medi Spa yesterday about this. And I said, Esther, you don't have a permanent makeup artist in your clinic. She said, no, I don't. I said, but why? And it's not just you, it's everywhere. And there's so many permanent makeup artists who are working by themselves, not alongside skin. Polly, you have both, which is a fantastic combination.
We do.
So technically, I've gone against what I've just said there by breaking up. But the reason I'm explaining this is to help you understand your question about why I've gone and opened my own clinic. So it's because of this divide. And in the Channel Islands, I really want to grow and focus on the permanent makeup, get that reputation really strong there. It's already strong, but even more so because then I'm going to interlink with my mother's clinic up the road. So she's got an aesthetic clinic. She specializes in high-end aesthetics, non-surgical treatments. So she's got the body contouring. She's got the threads, the dermal fillers, Botox.
So upselling?
No, combining.
Okay.
To build the reputation of permanent makeup, to be able to combine them. So then we can re-establish and bring these two industries together because they shouldn't be separated. Not only is permanent makeup a medical procedure that goes alongside areola reconstruction, scar revision, camouflage, there's so many, scalp for hair loss. There is so many medical treatments that we can combine this with to help elevate the client's confidence post these treatments. Also, for dermal fillers, the more dermal filler you add into someone's lips, the more it pushes the skin away. You know, if they are a lighter skin, there's going to be no colour left in the lips. Permanent makeup is a perfect combination treatment without adding more filler and having it migrate. Also, so what is our client's goal? Again, coming back to the ideal client, and this is what I'm thinking about with my clients. You're getting all my secrets here, guys. What am I thinking about with my client? How do they want to live? So what would Polly want to do? Polly, she's busy businesswoman, mum, all things go, spinning a lot of plates. Polly wants to get up in the morning, feel fabulous, leave her house with a tinted SPF. So what can I do to help Polly in that? We can do full face of permanent makeup. This is another thing. Why are we just doing one area of permanent makeup? Why are we not doing full face? Because that is what is going to benefit your client the most. She's got her eyebrows, her eyeliner, and her lips. She has an LVL, perfect. Off she goes. Then, if you're combining skin treatments or you're working with a skin therapist who is doing their peels, Botox, dermal filler, if they want these kind of things, they might just want skin regeneration, fresh, healthy skin. Then you are doing the best job for your clients. You are looking after your clients' needs there. And that is what we're here to do. We are here, like I'm here to help Polly look and feel her best and be as fabulous and feeling internally fabulous and looking externally incredible as much as I can for Polly to get up and go in the morning.
So I think that's such an amazing ethos to have. And it's understanding the client from all levels. And this actually goes back to, again, the key piece of I think the takeaway advice here for anybody sort of tuning in is consultation is so important. Understanding your client's needs, what her day-to-day lifestyle is. Is she somebody who wants to have permanent makeup that she can add to with her own pencil? Is she somebody who wants to have a dramatic look all the time? We need to understand what they're doing every day. Who is the client? What does she do for work? Is she somebody who wants to wear a lot of makeup day to day? Is she somebody who's quite glamorous? Is she a lady that's understated? And then we can work on that. And then we almost unravel, don't we? It's like peeling off those layers of, like, I don't know, an orange or whatever you want to say. I'm peeling something. You then start to figure out, oh, you know, the client likes this, the client wants to do this. Do you understand she needs this SPF? She's going to need some retinol. We're going to give her an eye cream. She's got a wedding coming up. Why don't we talk about her coming and having an LVL?
You have just touched on such a perfect point there as well. Your complex clients coming in.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the main thing that is going to get their permanent makeup to hold well? Their skin being in fantastic condition.
Yes.
Okay. So you can prep. If you've got someone who comes in, again, in the consultation, if they are not a suitable candidate, they, sun worshipper, sunbeds, loads of pigmentation, rosacea, dry skin. If you're working with a skin therapist or you're trained in skin, you can actually say to your client, cross-link, upsell, like you're saying. Maybe not the word upsell. No, I don't really like that term. I'm going to say, cross-link, look after, because if you prep your client's skin first, and let's say you don't treat them for 4 weeks, they are going to be all over looking and feeling better because their skin is going to be in better condition. And then when you go to do the permanent makeup, you've got the base there. It's going to hold and it's going to look so much better. It's going to elevate your work as well as their look.
Sure. So that's a great, the canvas is key.
Exactly.
So in the beauty industry, we know being full back-to-back in the diary is something that makes us, well, it's a productive way to work. We need all those white spaces filled. But what happens when you have a client that literally rings and says, I'm sorry, I'm not coming in this morning? How do you deal with those cancellation policies?
Okay, I'm very strict on my cancellation policy and I have it across the board. Obviously, if a very regular client who's been coming to me for 10 years falls over and breaks her leg and can't come in, I'm not going to say...
No, of course not. We understand that. That's a genuine
cancellation. Yeah. But other than that, even if someone is not well, unless it's like a virus bug, like where you're puking, etc., you've known about that, haven't you? You've known about your appointment. Sure. These are 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours appointments. So I've got a very strict cancellation policy. It's 7 days. The reason being is these are 2, sometimes 3 hour appointments. you need to be able to fill that space. So if somebody cancels within 48 hours, I don't have enough time. My diary is already fully booked for the next couple of days. I don't actually have the available time to go and get out another client.
And find another client.
Find another client, yeah.
People are like, put it on your socials, there's a cancellation. Well, yeah, I'm sorry, that's
Takes
not
time.
possible. Yeah. And then finding if it's an ideal client. We have a consultation process. You can't just fill somebody in that space. It doesn't work like that. So that space the space has been allocated, dedicated to that client. It needs to be paid for, right?
And also, I've got my admin days blocked out. So when I'm seeing clients, that is purely client time. Those 2-3 hours, I've already done my admin. There shouldn't be anything to be catching up on. So the cancellation policy is so important. So I always do a non-refundable booking fee, which is 50% of the treatment.
Yeah.
If it's a consultation, it's 100% the consultation price, okay? That must be paid to secure the client's appointment.
Okay.
I always say to them as well, just to let you know, this is a non-refundable booking fee. Are you happy that I'm about to take it? Because once we've done it, it isn't refundable. So they really understand clear as day that it is non-refundable.
Sure.
Okay. I make sure it's in all the literature, T's and C's. It is everywhere. I also send my clients an information pack as soon as they book so that they have got the literature there. And I do make sure that I say, now please read that and confirm that you've read it. I know this takes a little bit more time, guys, but please read that, confirm that you've read it because it's got your terms and conditions and your cancellation policy in it. So I know if I say that to every single client, somebody turns around to me and says, oh, no, I didn't know that. No, you did because I've said it. It's on my tick list. So what you can do as an artist is make yourself a little checklist until if you're new, or even if you're not new and you've got a little bit of a bad habit, which we all get, make yourself a checklist. And when you're doing the consult with the client, tick. So you know it's learning, it's ingraining it in your psyche. Okay, I've done everything until you know it like the back of your hand. But cancellation policy is absolute key.
Paramount.
Because it doesn't matter that your client hasn't turned up, you still have to pay your business running costs. So if you know, so let's say it costs you £90 an hour to run your clinic, your client doesn't turn up in those in those allotted times, you're paying out £180 for a 2-hour appointment, somebody's cancelled, and your client doesn't know that. So again, as long as you say everything in a friendly way, how you say it to them is key. And that comes back to the red flag, because a client that respects you and a client that you want in your clinic
will happily sign and pay.
They will pay. And if they don't turn up within those 7 days, they pay 100% the cancellation. They pay 100% the procedure price.
Wow.
And the client who, if you can get up and get on a flight, if you've got a 5-star holiday booked to the Maldives and you can get up and go for it, then you're well enough to come to your appointment. Also, if this is another thing, if work says to you, oh, I can't come because of work, but this is your work. As an artist, that's your work. You're not saying to your client, oh, I can't see you because I've got someone else coming in, so I'm going to cancel you. You're there for your client. So as long as, also, you have to be there for them. If you're sick, turn up to work.
Yeah.
Give them the option to cancel. Let them know you're unwell. But if you're well enough, don't just cancel, rearrange your clients willy-nilly. Be there for them. Be structured as well.
Sure. Ella, it's been so lovely speaking to you today. You are such an informative and amazing guest. And I would just love you to share your socials. So if anyone wants to find you and give you a follow, where can they find you?
Polly, thank you so much for having me on here. I'm so excited. Polly means business. Everyone needs to be listening to this. I could talk to you all day. You're so eloquent when you speak. I love having conversations with you. So you can find me on Instagram at Ella Harvey Aesthetics. If anyone has any questions, whether it's about pricing, client relationship, anything, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help. I am very slow at replying, though, on Instagram. So if you do have an urgent question, you can send it through WhatsApp. The link is in my bio as well.
Amazing.
Polly, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.